Hello, dear companions of Ladybird Designer. Welcome to another incredibly practical video. Today, we're going to dive into pattern making for this chic and elegant dress with a classic plaid design that has an amazing fit. In this tutorial, you'll learn all the tips for bodice dart manipulation, creating the aligned flare skirt, and designing the puffed cuff sleeve, all fully and step by step. So, if you're ready to level up your pattern making skills, let's get started. Alright, to start, I'll make a copy of the complete bodice pattern with all its darts. This is our starting point for modifications. Now, we'll open up the neckline slightly, 1 centimeter out from the neck point, and 0.5 to 1 centimeter down from the bottom. Here, we have two options. Either we can eliminate the side dart completely or sew it on the fabric. If you choose to sew it, remember that the dart point must be 2 centimeters away from the bust point. But I've decided to close the side dart and transfer it to the underbust dart. This way, we won't have any seam at the side, which is especially ideal for plaid fabrics. This dart, the underbust dart, absolutely must be shortened by 2 centimeters from the bust point. You should close and sew this dart on the garment. We'll mark all important sections and notches on the pattern right now. This helps prevent issues later on and ensures everything proceeds accurately. Alright, artist friends, how has the pattern making process been for you so far? Was any particular part of this tutorial challenging for you, or did you find it quite easy to follow along? Be sure to share your experiences in the comments so I can better understand your learning style. All right, my dear companions, now it's time to determine your desired garment length. You can design mini, midi, or maxi styles. This part entirely depends on your beautiful taste. Just one important reminder. I'll put the exact length measurements for this model in the description, so make sure to check it there. Alright, now to shape the skirt from the bottom of the garment skirt, we'll go 5 to 10 centimeters outwards. And from that point, we'll move 3 to 5 centimeters upwards. Now, we connect these points and design this part of the skirt to give it a beautiful shape. We'll mark all important sections and notches on the pattern right now. This helps prevent issues later on and ensures everything proceeds accurately. Great dear companions, our front pattern design is finally complete. Now, we'll set this pattern aside for a moment and enthusiastically move on to designing the back pattern. To make things easier, I've already prepared a copy of the back pattern. You, too, should always make and prepare copies of your basic garment pattern beforehand for all your designs. If you still don't know how to prepare your basic pattern, don't worry. I've placed a link to the basic pattern tutorial in the description. You can start from there and proceed step by step. Here's an important point. You must open up the armhole by 1 to 2 centimeters. This adjustment needs to be done for both the back and front patterns. Alright, now to shape the skirt from the bottom of the garment skirt, we'll go 5 to 10 centimeters outwards. And from that point, we'll move 3 to 5 centimeters upwards. To ensure the aligned flare fullness of the front and back of the garment's skirt are consistent and balanced, I'll measure this section to centimeters more. This helps us achieve a beautiful balance and harmony throughout the entire garment. Now it's time to mark the zipper placement on the garment. Since this dress is going to be fitted, I've eliminated the center back dart. This helps with a better zipper fit. Now, we'll also double-check the back neckline circumference to ensure its width is consistent and proportionate with the front neckline. This step is crucial for having a beautiful and flawless neckline on the garment. Now, it's time for the most precise measurements. We'll carefully measure the neckline circumference as well as the armhole circumference with a standing vertical tape measure. These measurements are crucial for designing the collar and sleeves. Alright, let's move on to designing the sleeve. Make a copy of the sleeve pattern that I previously taught you how to design, just like I'm doing. Don't forget to mark all the important points on the sleeve to avoid any issues in later steps. As I mentioned before, the sleeve circumference should be slightly larger than the armhole for a comfortable and well-fitted look. Now, I want it to be exactly 3 centimeters larger. Right now, the garment's armhole circumference is 48 centimeters and my sleeve is 49 centimeters, so I need 2 more centimeters for my sleeve to be exactly 3 centimeters larger than the armhole. I'll add these remaining 2 centimeters to the sides of my sleeve for a perfect fit. Make sure to watch the sleeve design video. In that video, I've fully explained all these points and details, as I don't want this video to be too repetitive and take up your time. With that video, you'll learn all the basics of sleeve design. Now add your desired length to the sleeve. It can be short, 3/4, or long sleeve, whatever you prefer. Now it's time to design the sleeve cuff. Let me teach you an important rule for cuff set. By following it, you can design flawless, puffy sleeves. This rule is the secret to the beauty and perfect drape of puffed sleeves. First, we set the cuff length to 9 centimeters. Then, subtract 6 centimeters, 2/3 of 9 centimeters from the sleeve and design a separate 9 centimeters cuff to attach to the sleeve. Now we draw a guideline and arrange all the sleeve pieces according to their numbers, with 3 centimeter gaps between them. This step is essential for creating the sleeve's puffiness. Now we'll go up 3 to 5 centimeters from the center of the sleeve cap and redesign this section. This modification will give the sleeve a more beautiful puffiness and drape. Alright, now we move on to designing the sleeve cuff. Now I'll draw a line that is double the cuff length. That is 9 centimeters multiplied by 2 equals 18 centimeters. This line will be the base for our cuff design. And I'll draw the length of my rectangle equal to the sleeve cuff circumference. This way, our main cuff rectangle is complete. You can either draw this rectangle to your desired wrist circumference, or use the measurements I provided in the description. Here's an important tip to remember. When our sleeve cuff length is more than 7 centimeters, we no longer just design a simple rectangle for the cuff. Instead, we need to add 1 centimeter to each side of the rectangle, and if our cuff length was more than 10 centimeters, we would have to add 2 centimeters to each side. This technique ensures the cuff sits more beautifully and elegantly on the wrist. Did you enjoy the tutorial as we progressed so far? What part of this plaid dress or any other design are you most drawn to? Or what changes would you like to make to it? I'm curious to see your creative ideas in the comments. Okay everyone, we've reached the end of this practical tutorial. I hope you've learned all the tips for dart manipulation, skirt design, and sleeve design, and can now create amazing garments. Make sure to practice and be creative. Until the next tutorial, take care and farewell.